Good afternoon, YouTube. My name is George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, anyway, as you know, I'm a fan of female bodybuilding. I support the sport, and I think it's a sport that's, even though it doesn't get as much attention and recognition compared to other sports, it's a serious sport. The men and women in the sport, they work hard, they're committed, and they have a passion, even though they don't get the same respect and recognition compared to the more mainstream sports. They are athletes. So anyway, some time ago I watched a video that was a live stream by one lady who I follow on social media. She's also an ambassador and a commentator for the Wings of Strength. And that's one Miss Isabella Terrell, better known as Fit Rockstar. Well, I think about a week ago, she had a little I think it was just like a commentary of the up-and-comers in the bodybuilding division, especially for women. As you know, Wings Strength is the organization that supports female bodybuilding, and they put together shows. They have an ambassador program. They do a lot for women's bodybuilding more than anything. So anyway, doing this commentary, Isabel announced her return to bodybuilding stage soon. She will be competing in 2022 season. That's great. Isabel has been in the game for quite some time. She's competed and has some great successes. I think back in 2015, she won the Omaha Pro. And her last competition was at the 2019 Linda Murray Norfolk Pro. And that's been a while. But the thing is that Isabel was making comments about up-and-coming bodybuilders in women's bodybuilding. And I feel like I thought it would be a little bit something more detailed. And, and it spanned on so many other women in the division. But it was kind of limited, in my opinion. And it mostly focused on certain particular women that compete in women's bodybuilding, mostly the Wings of Strength ambassadors, such as Monique Jones, Asha Hadley, Irene Anderson, Milo Ash, Julia Fari, and Sheena Oleg. And like I said, these are impressive women, and they do have a great future in women's bodybuilding, and they are ambassadors of the Wings of Strength. But the thing is that it was kind of limited. But I will admit this. Like certain ladies like Sheena Oleg, who I'm a fan of. I did an interview with Sheena Oleg. She's an amazing bodybuilder, just amazing woman. I have a crush on Sheena. She has a classic physique that reminds me of, I would say, maybe someone like early Laura Craval or Juanita Bleno. I tell her she reminds me of Juanita Bleno. And she's, like I say, she's a nice lady. I remember I enjoyed our conversation during our interview. I think she's just amazing. I mean, I try to keep in contact with her. She's just one of these people that I think she does most definitely has a future in women's bodybuilding. One lady who also I'm become a fan of is Milo Ash. As you know, back in 2020, Milo Ash switched over from women's physique to women's bodybuilding. In her debut in bodybuilding, she won the New York Pro. As you know, back in last year, the New York Pro brought women's bodybuilding back to its lineup. And Milo is amazing. She's at 4th place at the Olympia, and she's been pretty good in her career. But this year wasn't so good for her. She was like next to last at the Rising Phoenix. Then she didn't even was able to make the top 10 at the Miss Olympia, and then she did do the Arena Muscle Fest, but she took 3rd. But there could be a possibility that she might rebound at the Toronto Super Show this weekend. So let's wish her best of luck. Also, another lady who I'm a fan of, that's Asha Hadley. I've been a fan of Asha since for a while. She was also like the other ladies. She was also physique, and she's been to Olympia in as a physique competitor. She took some time off, got married, and made some adjustments, and returned to bodybuilding as a women's builder. And she did pretty good. She won the Savannah Pro, and then she also competed at the Olympics. She's been to the Olympia before, but this time is at the Miss Olympia for women's bodybuilding, and I'm a fan of her. I mean, I'm a fan of Ash. I think she's an amazing woman, just attractive, great physique, amazing look. I mean, one of the greatest set of abs in the sport. What I keep saying. I mean, and I think she would do pretty good. She makes some adjustments and prepare for the next season. There might be a good chance we might see her make the Olympia next year. Also, a woman who's I think is an up and comer, a true up and comer, is Julia Furry. And Julia has a look to her. She made her debut in women's bodybuilding at the Tampa Bay and took fourth place. That's pretty good. Taking fourth place, in your first bodybuilding show. She won. She earned her pro card back in 2019, and she was competing in physique. But also she's a talented lady. She's an actress, a performer. She's from Switzerland, same place as one of my favorite bodybuilders, Jay Fuchs, and she hangs with Jay. I think she's good friends with Jay, and I think if she stays along with somebody like Jay, she can really make her a better bodybuilder. Next up is Mona Pasale. Mona, she's been in bodybuilding for quite some time. She is from Canada. Some great female bodybuilders come out of Canada. And I'm a fan of hers. I think she has a great physique, amazing body. She did pretty good, winning the Tampa Bay, then turning around, taking fourth at the Olympia. But there's a good chance she might compete next year and try to qualify. The qualifications for chance changed, whereas not the top 5 women to make the Miss Olympia, now it's the top 3. Then there's also Nikki Chartrand. As you know, Nikki is also like some of these ladies who made the switch from women's physique to women's open. And Nikki has a look to her. She's a tall woman, great physique. Like I said, I'm surprised that she is not doing a few more shows. I think she did a couple of shows this year, but, she didn't get a qualification. But she has a particular look to her. She's I think one of these ladies that I think can really grow in the division once she makes some adjustments. But I think she's a great field bodybuilder. And these are things I also want to talk about. That some people that she mentioned Monique Jones. I'm a fan of Monique Jones. I've been a fan of Monique since she's been in the game. Monique took some time off, rebounded, come back, and did pretty good. But this year, she kind of I feel like she's stepping away from bodybuilding. I'm getting some scuttlebutt. There's a chance that Monique might just go ahead and just pack it in. And, it happens. Sometimes, you want to take some time off and just relax. Now Monique has other ventures. She's a coach. She's a prepper. She's doing a lot of things in the sport that's, conducive for her future. Now, 2 ladies here I think will be superstars, who are superstars in their own right, is Christina Mendoza and Alicia Young. Now, Christina, she's also an ambassador, just like Alicia. And Christina did, pretty good. And this year she came back after 2020. She took second at the Chicago Pro. And there was talk about maybe she was going to make the Olympia this year. But then I don't know what happened. She just kind of took a step back. She said, for personal reasons, her coach and her decided that they need to step back. And, this happened last year. She won I believe she made the top 5 at Savannah. And then she's already was invited to the Rising Phoenix, same like she was this year. But, we just feel like she's just, I don't know. It just, what is it she needs to do? She's pretty impressive, She's attractive. She's young. I think she has a good future, but, it's just what's really going on. And also Alicia Young. Alicia's popular. She's been in the game for quite some time. I think she's one, like, whenever I do content with Alicia Young, I get a lot of views and I get a lot of likes. Guys love Alicia. But like I said, when I'm hearing that she has medical issues, I saw on her IG that she's venturing into massage therapy or something like that. It was a little video she was doing. She was giving a guy a massage or something like that. I think she might be phasing out of bodybuilding. I think she is, because I heard that she has also medical issues. A couple years ago she had to deal with a case of Bell palsy. She was in an accident. A lot of stuff's going on. But Alicia just amazing about it. Back in 2020, she really looked pretty good at the Rising Phoenix. I was hoping to see her compete this year, but she's a mother. She has a child to tend to. I know she recently got divorced. I think she really probably want to find other ventures outside of the sport of bodybuilding. That's possible. Just right now, there's no details until she says anything further. And here are 3 ladies who've been in the game for quite some time. Most definitely legends who are recognizable. And you have Margie V. Martin and Hella Trevino and Irene Anderson. And the thing is, there's a possibility these three ladies might be, ready to get out of the sport. Margie, she's been competing since I think 2014, 2013, 2014, and now she's living in Vegas. She's getting to other business endeavors. I think she's spreading her wings. And, she didn't even was one street ambassador this year. So I think she's looking into other ventures for her future. Hella, I know she did an interview with Isabella a while back where she's talking about maybe next year will be her last year. Hella, she been competing for quite some time. There was those few 6 or 7 years where she wasn't competing because of her injury, but she came back and she did pretty good. Now this year she took second place at the Olympia, and then being a two-time Rising Phoenix champion, there's a good chance that I think she might sit out, and maybe venture outside the bodybuilding world. And Irene's been in the game for a long time, and just here's about Irene. Irene is 50-something years old. She's in her mid-50s. And to maintain this level of muscle at that age is amazing. But also, it can be taxing on the body. She's a mother. She has kids. she has grandkids. She's an actress, documentarian. You ever seen a documentary, Too Big for This World? You should check it out. And I think she might, maybe, took fifth place at this year's Olympia. And now she has points. But she might try to see if she can qualify a show, or just, I don't know, take this year off and just relax and try to, rethink where she wants to go in her future. Now, as I was saying like this, Isabel's commentary was kind of small. It was mostly focused on Wing Strength ambassadors. But not, the thing about Wing Strength, you're supposed to be promoting women's bodybuilding. So it should be focused not just the ambassadors, but also other people in the division who has a possible future, who can grow. And like I said, people like I did interviews with Rashana Boswell, Jada Beverly, people like Tina Williams, people I've been in contact with like Nadia Capsasoto, also people like Liz Codry and Hunter Henderson. I think these women have a good future in this sport. Like Hunter. Hunter is just in her mid-20s. She's young, and this her first year in bodybuilding. She wins a show at Omaha, wins her pro card at the USA's, then turns around and takes second at the Tampa Bay, which some show I thought she wasn't. I wasn't sure she was gonna make the show. I think she said her and her coach were talking about it and decided to do the Tampa. I was sure that she might have waited another year, maybe come back and see how she do in the other show. But out the gate, she was really has promise. I was surprised she didn't do any other shows after that show. She could have done the Savannah or even done the I think that was it. After Tampa, that was it, Savannah, and that was it. But she's amazing. She has a great physique, especially she's a top-notch power lifter. Also, there's Stephanie Fletcher. Well, I'm not too much a big fan of Stephanie Fletcher. Stuff that she's doing on social media. But the fact is, she does have the look and the physique that's popular now. She's very, I would say, she has some feminine qualities about her. I think she has a great physique. Tall, very, have all the dimensions of that I think were fit for a division. As she made the switch this year. She was at the Omaha. She jumped from women's physique to women's open at the Chicago, and also she did the Tampa. I'm surprised she did more shows. She was also, I think, second in line at the for points, but I don't know what for reason whatsoever, she decided to not take that opportunity. I mean, you were just right behind Janine Lekowski, and you had opportunity to compete at the Olympia, but for some reason she said she didn't want to. But anyway, like this, a win is a win, no matter what it is. Take the opportunity. But she does have some of the qualities I think would be conducive for women's bodybuilding, the look and the muscle. Here is one lady who we've been quite fond of. We're good acquaintances. We keep up in each other, contact with each other. Is one Miss Jada Beverly. I think Jada is great. She's an amazing woman, great physique. She has that look of I sent her a picture a while back where she reminds me of like Juliet Bergman or Sheila Black, or just that great muscle, not overly massive, not under some size. She just has great lines, exotic look to her. I mean, she has a great body. As you know, she was physique. The same year she made her switch was the same year her and Milo Ash made it. She told me how they told her and Milo to make the switch. And so I think I talked to somebody else who mentioned they were there when this happened. But she has just a great body, great physique. She has just certain traits of her that will work for this division, but really they need to focus on that. Because you want female bodybuilding to grow, you have to focus on the women that can probably help it grow. Next up is Michaela Aycock. And Michaela, she's impressive. I think she has that. She reminds me of maybe someone like Sue Price or I was trying to think of Hannah V. Atkin. Petite, a lot of mass muscle. I mean, she put a good amount of muscle, and she's still young. She's just in her late 20s. And this is, I said it before, it's the younger women who keep this sport going. We have our veterans, but the younger women coming over and switching, they're the ones who keep it alive. The ones who take the opportunity to decide, I want to take my foot in another division. And this is what she did. And Michaela is impressive. I mean, especially for her height and her size, she really puts on some muscle. Next up is Rashana Boswell. I'm a fan of Rashana. And, I did an interview with Shana. She is a lovely person. She has a certain style to her. I think with the tattoos, it reminds me a lot of Melanie Specco, in the way, and great physique. She's amazing. She's an intelligent woman. She's a businesswoman. She has qualities about her that could really, really, really bring in people into the sport of bodybuilding. Just a few, she's fixed a few things here and there. There's a good possibility that we might see her more win some more shows. If she or placing high enough where she's points leader. It's just it's about timing. And I think last year was a great time for her. She won Savannah, went to the Olympia for the second time. And, maybe she may be able to go again, just depending on which show works for her and how she looks for the upcoming season. 180 here is Jeannie Welker. Now, Miss Welker, I think with her looks are she has an exotic look to her. She has a great muscle. I mean, like I said, like Jada and a couple of the ladies, she's not overly muscular. She's lean. She has a tight physique. She has qualities, I think, that would probably, really bring more attention to women's bodybuilding. I think, like I said, she just has that, how can you say, just something about her. You can't put your finger on it, but she has an amazing body. She has great lines. I mean, her definition is just, I think from that show at the Savannah, it was on point. That's why she took third place. If she makes some adjustments, she was also physique, bring a little more size and just a better level of quality of muscle, there's a good chance we will see a lot more of her, maybe even see her here in the next year Miss Olympia. Also, a lady who I'm coming from is Nadia Capasoto. And Natalie's from Italy. And just, the thing is, there's a lot of great female bodybuilders. Like Julia Fleury, Jay Fuchs, Lisa Cross, who are across the ocean. And that's one thing I think Win Strengths need to grow on, trying to recruit more bodybuilders over there. The thing is the cost of, traveling back and forth. I would think, she'd be perfect if she can, if we just make her ambassador, have her a place here where she can do more shows. She's already done, she already qualified for next year's Olympia by winning the Romanian Muscle Fest. She's done the Big Man show. She'd be somebody that, now with, as you know, the FBO, I don't know if we're going to have the FIBO next year, because it's still, we're going through the virus, this new variant. But if she can be a great ambassador, there's been some great bodybuilders come out of Europe, especially Italy. She would be a great ambassador. Like I said, I'm a fan of her. I think she has a great look, very exotic looking. I think, like I said, just a look that, I said again, would help grow female bodybuilding. It brings in new people if they see someone like her. I think they'd be, especially the overseas fan base. I think female bodybuilding is a lot stronger overseas than it is in America. But she has a look to her, and like I said, I like her. I keep in contact with her. I send her stuff whenever it's posted about her, and she really appreciates that, and I really like that. That's why I put it on my list. And here is Tiana Flex. And Tina also, like some of the others, is a young up-and-coming. She's from South Africa, and that's another region of where bodybuilding needs to, stretch out to, around about Africa, the closer to the West Indies, East Indies, you might well say, and really recruit, up-and-comers. And I think Tiana, she has that look to her. She has a great physique. I mean, amazing body, and being her youth also is an advantage for her. I would say, recruit her. You can use her as ambassador around the South Pacific, Africa. As you know, Africa is a young country, even though the youth population is a lot higher compared to some other countries. But I think she could be a great possible ambassador. And next here is Anastasia Levinova, and she's from Russia. And Anastasia's just amazing. I mean, look this muscle she puts on. I mean, my man AJ, he likes her. AJ with Female Body Channel calls she's a big freaky chick, but she has a certain look to her. And the Eastern Europeans like the Russians, the Germans, the Czechs. I mean, it's just a level of quality of muscle. I mean, Eastern Central Europe, there's just women who are just amazing. Look at her. I mean, she has a very attractive look to her. She has a nice side of muscle. For the guys who like women who are have that size to them, who are big and muscular, but not too overly big. Like someone like a good example is like Carla Gamond, or maybe I'm trying to think of somebody else. Paula Suzuki. I think she has those qualities that could make her a possible future women's strength ambassador, and she's an up and comer. Like I said, when things get settled, travel restrictions are done, she can, we could see her to do some shows here in the States. I think she would do great in the States. And last but not least, Miss Fletcher, and Miss Cardry is from Canada. As you know, she made the switch from women's physique to women's open. I think she has a look to her. She did pretty good on her bodybuilding debut, taking 4th place at the Savannah. And you know what? This is the type of person that just has great lines, great look. I mean, something about her is just remembrance of women from the past. The thing is, I think what bodybuilding want to do, the bodybuilding division want to do, is get away from what's coming. They want to come to something more of a classic look. Like, as you have men's classic, you should have women's bodybuilding classic. Something like early Linda Murray or Sandy Radal, and I think she has a good future. I mean, she's competing at the Toronto Super Show this year. How the outcome of that show is going to be is really up to what the judges like. And if she's what they like and what they are into, Lisa could be maybe possibly an Olympic contender. It's going to be tough. As you know, Andrew Shaw is going to be hard to beat. And, you really have to come with your A game. Most definitely. I would say your triple A game. Now, I want to do a thing called honorable mention, where women who I follow, who I respect, who I think are great ladies. But at the same time, it's up in the air what their future is really going to be like. Especially how judging is in the IFBB, and how certain people are getting more push than others. First off, I want to say the most lovely, beautiful Miss Tina S. Williams. I think she's a great lady. She's a wife, a mother. She is a great female bodybuilder. She has great lines. She has height, amazing physique. I would love to see her get more opportunities. I know back in 2020, she missed a shot for Olympia by 1 point. I know she keeps kicking herself like that. But I think she's a great lady. Once she fixes, and she's under the tutelage of one Miss Anita Popa. And if she just things for the next season, we might even see her get into the, if she don't qualify by winning a show, maybe getting points. I mean, a win is a win, and the opportunity to get to the Olympic, you take it. One lady who I'm following, who's competing this weekend, is Miss Tana Hugh. Tana is great. I think she's just an amazing bodybuilder. Just love her physique. I mean, it's beautiful. She is a beautiful person. I would like to see her get more opportunities, but the thing is, how it is. Certain people get a push over others. And I think she's a person that deserves a bigger push. She's been in the sport for quite some time, and she deserves a spot, in the as an up-and-comer, or even as a contender. Right here is a lady who I'm also fond of, Stacey Nunes. Stacey, she knows she means switch. And the reason why I like Stacey is because she stood up. At the time when women's bodybuilding was going to have a hard time, especially at the Puerto Rico Pro, she took her chance and she switched. And, right now, Stacey, she's doing her duties. And she's in the United States Army. Thank you for her service. I'm always going to say this to her. And maybe if she gets things together at Women Contact, once the season starts, I would love to see her do some more shows. Maybe come back here in the States, do a few more. And I think they should try to maybe do a few shows while she's overseas. Maybe even possibly she may even get an opportunity to do the Olympia if these shows pan out for her. One lady who also I keep in contact with is Miss Gabby Pena. And I think she's beautiful. amazing physique, great body, great lines. I think, as you know, she's been physique. She started out in bodybuilding, switched to physique, now came into bodybuilding. She makes the adjustments and improvements. It's no telling where she goes. I mean, she has the opportunity. She has great potential. I think she's an amazing person. I mean, I hope she maybe by getting the point system, made earn enough points to make the Olympia or even win the show. One thing we should do is try to, there's a lot more shows across the border, like places like Brazil. Even try to maybe, I don't know, do shows in maybe around Mexico, Tijuana, something like that. Mexico City. Hey, why not? I think, through the show in Mexico City would be great. I mean, I think there's a lot of bodybuilders other side of the border who love the opportunity to compete in a IFBB Pro show, and especially for winter strength. One lady who I'm fond of is Miss Akima Jones. And also I keep in contact with her. I think she's a beautiful woman, amazing woman, great, a woman like Tana. She's a Caribbean woman, and Caribbean women are just, Heather Foster and Laura Craval, and one of my favorites, Rosemary Jennings. I just love my Caribbean sisters. And I think she's a beautiful lady. She's a nurse, a first responder. I respect her. She's a mother. And I think she did pretty good at Chicago, getting fourth and also winning Best Poser. As you know, she lives in California. And this is also a thing. California there should be more shows for women bodybuilding in California. Now, there have been a lot of shows for women bodybuilding in years. There's physique and some of the other divisions. But women bodybuilding need to have a growing foot in California. And that'd be a great place for her. She won't have to travel a lot. We do shows maybe San Diego, some place like San Francisco, maybe cities that are not too expensive to the venue and more better conducive for bodybuilding would be great. Maybe San Jose. And one lady who I've seen recently, as you know, she's been competing in bodybuilding for quite a time. This is Bronca. I'm not going to say her last name because I hate to chop it up. But Bronca has just a great physique. I mean, she's kind of like I put in the line like Jada Beverly, not Jada Beverly. I mean, Milo Ash, small, packs a lot of muscle. She has an amazing physique. She did pretty good, taking second place at the Romanian Muscle Fest. As I said again, that's why you need to recruit more of these women overseas. They don't have an outlet for themselves. There's not enough ambassadors outside of the country. And, this is where you can really grow, especially around where she's from Croatia, and also, that's like, I think it's more like Central Europe, or we call it Eastern Europe. If you let me know which one is it. But there is some many great women from Europe that just bring a level of muscle that's just unbelievable. And she's one of them. And last but not least, I'm going to say one Miss Anastasia Kovaleva. And I've been following her for quite some time. And I know this is the look that they're trying to get away from, the mass monsters. But I just love these, for a lot of these guys who are fans of female bodybuilding, you just love the massive women like her and Natalia Kostanova, Renee Tony, several women who just brings just a massive amount of muscle. But they want to get away from that look. But the fact is, it's still popular among certain fans. As you know, as I said again, the fan base in bodybuilding is generally mostly male. And the guys love these women. They love these mass monster women. And she's from Russia, and the Russian, like her and the other Anastasia Levinova, and there's another Natalia. I mean, the Russian women just really bring a level of muscle. And it's just, I think it's a lot popular than a lot of people want, but it's a look that they want to get away with. But, it's something that's always something about these women who bring on this, huge amount of muscle. These just these, I would say, massive goddesses, you would say for some fan base. But I think she's young also. And she puts on a lot of muscle for somebody her age. And I think, even though some people might say she's more of a freak show, but still, she has a strong fan base among certain people, especially what we call schmoes. But maybe we can see more in the shows. Maybe we can see compete in America. If she comes to America, she might do a lot better. But like I said, I want to get a shout out to all the women out here. Like I said, I just all the shout out to the girls working on loving their bodies, because that shit's hard, and I'm proud of you. And that's true. It takes a lot to do what these women do. To get up in the morning, to work out, to follow a diet, to be consistent. And also the expense of being a bodybuilder, to The cost of paying for travel, food, makeup, hair, their posing suits. It's a lot on these ladies taxing. And that's why when I do my interviews, I often ask them, hey, ladies, you have a GoFundMe, a PayPal, a Venmo, something people want to make a donation, put in the description. Because, I want people to see if you truly support these ladies. If you had the funds, I know things are tight and it's hard. Send them a few bucks. You don't have to send them like a grip. Sometimes $10-12 will help. Sometimes that'd be like maybe a little thing of whey powder, or sometimes you can put some little gas for the car if you want to get back and forth to the gym. But we really want to support all these ladies, the women who are winning strength ambassadors, the women who are not. The thing is that they need all the attention and support they deserve. It's a lot of work what these ladies do. And what I'm learning from it is a lot of stuff going on. But the push is that they need to be recognized. They need the opportunity to be seen as athletes. I would say if you are someone who's a sponsor and who's interested in sponsoring these ladies, take the opportunity, reach out to them, talk, see where their head's at, see where they're at. And if you are interested, then take the opportunity, because they want to prove something. They want to prove that they're not just these massive women with muscles. They want to prove they are athletes, they are entertainers, they are performers. They want to be seen as people who are competing in the sport that they love and have passion for. And I respect that for them. So like I said, this is just some ladies who I think who have great opportunities, women who are just need to be recognized for their commitment and support. And like I said, if you are a fan, all you got to do is, hey, go to my channel, look at my interviews. If you find somebody you like and, hey, you want to do something, hey, a few dollars won't hurt. But here's the thing also, don't expect anything back. Do it because you want to do it. Don't expect something like, I'm here for some ladies, how some guys be wanting to be like this, they want to have their hands out. Don't be looking for your hands out. Don't. Just be that generally that nice person who wants to help somebody out achieve their goals. And also, here's my rule again. No dick pics, guys. Don't be that weird guy. No one want to see your tatty whacker. No one want to see your Vienna sausage. Be respectful. Some of these women have husbands. They have kids. That's thing they want to do is be on their mom's cell phone, their wife's cell phone, seeing somebody popping out their micro mini. Anyway, like I said, support these ladies. Reach out to them. Show that you are a fan and you respect what they do and how they do it. This is Milo Ash, Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk. Don't subscribe. I'm out.